Hey guys, what's up? Hey, got swords. Scotty, what's going on, man? How's it going? Welcome to the Sunday Night Build Show, where we don't start on time. I was actually going to start this build yesterday, but then I messaged them and they actually got back to me quickly and they're like, yeah, we want to see it live. So we're going to be doing this one live. But I did start unpackaging everything. So that's why everything's kind of at a disarray. Not much, just chilling, watching TV with the wife. Nice. Metal Spring, vibing, dude. You started close enough. I didn't really have a set time to start tonight, but wanted to start earlier. Wanted to actually stream yesterday, but yesterday turned into a really busy day. Saturdays are becoming super busy foot traffic days, apparently. So I'm just in and out, or I have people coming in and out all day, so it's really hard to stream on Saturdays. But anyway, I was going to build this build yesterday off stream, in between people walking in and out, and I messaged him like, hey, do you want this live so you can see it? And then he was like, yeah, that would be cool. So I stopped what I was doing, and we're going to do it live. So that's why some of the parts are out of the boxes, etc. I was already starting on it. Here we go. This build is for Mr. Kurt. He's actually a local customer for us, and specifically he wanted a i7 build for some production work. So he's got it's mostly just going to be some production, I think photo editing, video editing, or 3D design, I think, if I remember correctly off of our conversations from a few days ago or a week ago now. But we have all the parts here for the build. So we're going with 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, an Intel i7 10700 KF. Also, the budget was pretty tight for this, so we had to make it work with what we had available within the price range. Then we have a 1 terabyte M.2 SSD, so you could definitely add more storage. But this is going to get them up and running with a decent amount of RAM, a good CPU to work with, and a fast SSD on a expandable motherboard. Graphics card we're using is a little bit light because all we really needed to do is to give us multiple displays, as well as the ability to run the software that he was running, which is, I think, a 3D design software. So it's just an RX 5500 4 gig card. He didn't need anything super spectacular for any type of major graphics power or horsepower. He just needed something that was going to drive the software, and this is going to do it just fine within his budget. So the cooler we went with is actually a different one that I normally build with, but it's a Thermalright. This is the Burst Assassin. So I don't normally build with Thermalright. I use their contact plates a lot, but we weren't going for any super fancy RGB, and this one was really good price. So that's what we got. This is also going into an NX 410 Antec case, ATX mid tower. It's very similar to the Landcool 205 by Leon Lee. It's got the two 140 millimeter fans in the front. I believe that's what we went with. Two 140 millimeter fans in the front, 120 millimeter in the back. So it's a great, excellent case to start out in, with lots of expandability. So let's go ahead and get started, guys, because we've got two builds that we have to do tonight. The other one's going to be a little bit bigger. Got a lot more work on that one. We're going to go ahead and drop our Intel i7 into the LGA 1200 socket on the Z590 motherboard. If I didn't mention that, this is a Prime Z590P with Wi-Fi by Asus. It's a great board. Right now they're about $130, so it's a great price if you're looking for a Z590. Anybody have the scissors? I've got a couple of people with me building today. We're playing catch up as well. So if you notice behind me, I have my brother Josh, who's building. Then my daughter Adrian's over here building as well. under my supervision. Yep. Noob Sauce Zero says, "Hey Josh." Hey Adrian. No E in the name. What's up, Noob Sauce? How's it going, man? We're just over here building away. Take me away. You know what? I'm going to put this one on the bottom again. So how many are you building today? I'm building 2 for sure. That is my goal, is the 2 live streamed. I'm starting to not be able to stream every single one because it's slowing my line down. So I'm picking and choosing which ones I can and cannot stream. Or the stream would be on 24/7. Aiden Smith, what's up? Let's go. Thanks for stopping in, man. Wow, Noob Sauce, you didn't get a hi. Sheesh, I did so. I said Noob Sauce, hey, what's up? And if I didn't, I said it in my head. Come on, man. Scotty, open your ears. Live a little. Listen to the sound. Yeah, buddy. I was going to say it to you on your next stream. Oh, I see. You're saying Scotty you didn't say hi to Scotty. Sorry, I'm old, so it takes me a minute to follow along on things. I've actually never installed one of these thermal right coolers before. Never used them before. They've got a lot of good reviews, but this is the first time I've ever used them. It looks pretty standard, like any other cooler, except for there seems to be a little bit extra here, so might have to read through the instructions on this one. Wow, Ben. Yeah, shut up. Let's not make it worse than it already is, okay, Scotty? Let's just let it go. Let it slide. Pretend that never happened. Let's move on. Alright. We got 2 brackets here, and I don't know what this is. Let me bump the microphone. Does that make sense? Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna put the studs through, put these little washer things in. We need this, and there are 4 little washers that are just flopping around here, it seems like. Because something's open that shouldn't be open. That's encouraging. We got 4 of these. We're supposed to have 4 of these screws. There it is. And we have 4 of these washers, and then this thing. Back plate. And we flip the motherboard around. We're going to shove this bad boy in one of these holes. Which is the one closest to the center, and then they put the washers on like that. Really interesting way to do it. But okay. What Bobby tells me to do, we're going to do it. Who's Bobby? Bobby? There we go. We got all our studs in place, we'll call them. And then our little blue washers. All right, next up we got some spacers that we need to add. It says G. I don't know what G is. Which one is G? G says it's the 11 5X or 1200 standoff. There's 4 of them. That's 1700. Thankfully, they've labeled them. But then there's this, not labeled. Like, okay. Aha. Then there's this, actually labeled. Have you used any of those new fans that connect magnetically, Ben? No, I have not. I've not used any of those. It's kind of scary. New technology. I'm just kidding. Scared of new technology. I'm just kidding. I don't remember who makes them. Maybe Thermaltake. I think my build isn't too far away. Still waiting on parts, question mark. I know you kind of threw a wrench into it with extra storage. Well, actually, sir, if we're talking about the 2 4 terabyte SSDs, they arrived today. So here's your 2 4 terabyte SSDs. We do have everything here. That is actually supposed to be built tonight on this stream. I just haven't gotten a chance to like message people. So I was gonna send you a message next once I got this one done. So yes, sir. Today's the day. Does that mean after we're done building it, you're gonna stop hanging out with us? You're just here to watch us build? I'm just messing with you. Sweet Noob Sauce gets his PC built tonight. Yes, sir. Surprise. Yes, sir. Yours is next up. Hey, beat you to it then. I've been watching all of the builds before it, so it must be more than just mine. Yeah, there's a few waiting. So, waiting on parts. We got actually a really nice build, an awesome build coming up for a another local customer. I believe it was local. Anyway, yeah, it's local, but super customized. You got glass etching and a bunch of other stuff going on with it too. So a couple of sweet builds coming up too, on top of yours. All right, need some thermal paste. Piece of plastic in the grill. This cooler has a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heat pipes, so it's a little bit more robust than those 4 heat pipe coolers that I use, which is why I selected it. It's a 6 heat pipe. Super nice cooler. The reviews. It can handle quite a bit of heat. So I know these i7s like to run a little toasty. So we wanted to make sure we got good enough cooler to keep it cool for many years. This thing will do the job with 6 heat pipes, direct contact. There we go. Cooler is mounted. Let's get the fan mounted and move on to the case. For not building with this cooler before, I think I did a pretty good job. Pretty much the same design as most other coolers. All right. There we go. It's all plugged in, ready to go. All we got to do is get this in a case. Next. Time for the case, the NX410 by Antec. Once again, this is a ATX mid tower, very similar to the Landcool 205M, which is becoming pretty much your basic modern design for most custom cases, where you have the space up here at the top for an AIO, and you also have space for 140mm fans on the front, as well as the basement, with some options to install some fans at the bottom for more or better, even more additional airflow. If you wanted to add 2 more fans down here, you could. But you support a 360mm AIO, or 280 or 240 or 120 on the front, and a 240 to 280 or 120 on the top, or a 120 on the back. Although I really personally don't use 120s ever. Never have I, and never will I. If you're going to do a 120mm AIO, you may as well just use an air cooler. We got our back panel for the D590. This bad boy in there. And then just make sure all of our studs are in the right place, which we do have them all in there. Things lining up, we just drop the board in. Get our case hardware out. And we start screwing this thing together. The noob sauce, the reason why we actually delayed yesterday's stream, the main reason, outside of the fact that we had a ton of people in and out, was because your drives were supposed to arrive yesterday, but they didn't show up. And I wanted to do your build. Your build was, and this build was next, so I delayed it because they got delayed, and they showed up today, magically. They called and complained. What do you need? Take my bag down here. Pick for the orange one. There should be more in there. So, might need to magnetize it. What? There you go. Oh, I wouldn't have been a big deal. Pretty excited though. Nice. Glad you're excited. Hey Scotty, what did you send? It just shows up as a square. Are my things broken? No sending any funny pictures in the chat. Alright, so got some front panel connections to deal with here. Real quick. Got our front panel power. USB 3, which I think is up here. We have front panel HD audio, front panel USB. And I think we have our just for large V connection as well up here, where one of these fans have it coming off of it. Okay. Supposed to have one. Didn't I just build in one of these the other day and I had it? Or am I just crazy? It's all tangled up. Not gonna build with it like that. There we go. Much better. Now it's functional. So, with the H, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna have to see if I have a connector for it. This was supposed to be synced to the motherboard, but there's no connector here. Interesting. Somebody just get to put one on this one? Do I have another Antec case here? No. That's obnoxious. Not gonna lie. You don't know how many times I actually run into this kind of stuff where it's missing. A brand new for any product. Happens a lot. So I probably got the guy on the factory in the line. Just came off lunch after a nice, triple cheeseburger or something. Getting sleepy. Forgot to add that cable for that adapter. Oops. All right, so now we want to probably drop the card in. Let me look for that adapter real quick. Those are swords. Oh, well, it didn't show up in the last one. Yeah, the magic wand didn't show up in the last one. I would never send naughty pics in your bullshit. I don't trust you. And you're a mod. What's wrong with this picture? This is a 3-pin. Not gonna work. Whatever, I'm gonna deal with it later. Yes. I don't know. I could have sworn these were supposed to have thingamabopper. That's for more fans. That's annoying. Super annoying. That one is different than the other. Whatever. Moving on. We'll deal with it later. We'll put the graphics card in. Literally just built in that one a couple days ago. Cute little bugger. Oh, you should trust me. Power supply time. We just end up replacing these stupid fans because that irritates me. I got a bunch of fans over here. I'll see what I can do. After the fact, of course. We'll see. I just wanted them RGB. I mean, it's not a big deal. They just won't be synced to the motherboard. It's not the end of the world. Just bothers me because it was supposed to be synced. That was the whole one of the reasons why I choose this case. I don't know why, but these fans do not have the motherboard sync on them. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe they don't actually have it. Maybe I'm thinking of another case. I don't know. Pretty sure I just built in this. I'm gonna have to go back and look on that video. That PC's gone too already. I'll have to do the top one here. Alright, back in your hole. I mean, if you were watching the other, like, 1 or 2 streams ago, I think it was Friday night stream, where it built in this case. You guys remember? If it had the addressable 5 volts, addressable RGB 5 volt 3-pin connection. Yeah, your brand is awesome. I'm starting to feel like I made a good choice. Oh, nice. Hey, I'm a trustworthy person. I know you are. I'm Scotty, I'm just screwing with you. Hopefully you're not trolling me back and I'm... What? But anyway, I know you wouldn't do anything like that. I'm just joking. Yeah, your brand is awesome. I'm starting to feel like I made a good choice. I think you made a good choice as well. We're growing. A growing brand. Wow, that zip tie sucks. We got a dead zip tie. It's not going to zip anymore. You also run into those a few times when you build. Huh? Wow, I'm just going to throw all of these away because these suck. Bye. Quit wasting my time. All right. Now we just kind of flip it over and deal with some cable management here. I think we might have to plug in a couple more things, but not much. Who's drinking a Celsius? Ugh. He's never gonna go to bed. Oh, I know, Ben. I can tell when you're messing around. No, you can't. You can't tell when I'm messing around. I actually have a very bad sense of humor. Like, it's very dry. Sometimes people can't read it or pick up on it. It's really funny. So I screw with people with it because of it. There's a buddy when he and I were first becoming friends, or when we first met anyway. Okay. He thought I hated him. It was because of my terrible sense of humor. So he could never read me. Later we found out that's why he never really liked. He was always nervous talking to me. Stuff. It was just funny when I found that out. Then I found that out and screwed with him a whole bunch. Now we're pretty good friends, I think. So. All right. I think we're getting somewhere. Cables are not behaving very well. So takes a little bit of work to tame this mess. There we go. At least got that line all tamed up. Adrian, those are... Need help, ask Josh. Where's that Mern fellow? I don't know. Who's Mern? Never hangs out in my streams anymore. Got what he wanted for me, and he's like, eh. Oh, that. I'm joking, of course. There's my dry sense of humor kicking in. They always sound so serious. So building a PC is quick. It's the cable management that takes the most time, I think. Cable management and fans. It's that quick. Don't be telling people that. You want people to lose confidence. Is that a secret? Alright, so we got... I'm sorry, I was chatting with Adrian over there if you couldn't hear her. One last zip tie, and we got to plug the Molex connection for the Molex Centipede. And we got to clip all these zip ties clean. There we go. Oh, one more zip tie. I think that's a clean looking build on the backside. What do you think? You make it look easy to... I've been doing it for a long time, so it's second nature. You know, when you do something a few hundred times a year, you should be able to make it look easy. If you don't make it look easy, then you might need to go find a new profession. I'm sure there's things that you guys do, and I'll be like, here. This is just my ballpark, my playing field. Probably shouldn't be putting the glass on if we're going to take a peek at it when we fire it up. I think it'll make a glare. Alright, let's clean this stuff up and fire this bad boy up. And let's move on to the next build. I think Noob Sauce is waiting for that one. I'm waiting for that one for... I almost went into Titanic mode. Alright, plug a few cables in, fire this bad boy up. Shall we? I actually don't need to plug all these in. I don't know why I'm plugging them all in. Just now dawned on me. After all these times, I don't have to be plugging in all the USB just to make sure it posts. Huh. Alright, switch the view. You guys ready for this one? Ruh-roh. JK. Dang it. There's your rainbow effects. If you don't want to see it with the glass, you can open it up. Post. I've done 3 builds and they've all taken 10 times longer and looked 10 times worse. Every single one of yours I've seen. Thanks. Like I said, I just build a lot of them, so it's just easy for me. If you did as many as I did, you'd probably be just as good or better. So. there we go. We got a beautiful build ready to go for Mr. Kurt. So it's like I said, it's an Intel i7 10700 in there with 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and RX 5500 4 gigabytes. Not for gaming. It's mostly for production 3D design work. So he really wanted the CPU horsepower, the RAM, and something that could drive a few screens and support some 3D modeling, which doesn't take much to do with the software that he's running. So just something that has support for the software and support higher resolution models, and this card will actually do it pretty well. So on a budget, I think we were, where were we? We were at $800 for this build. So $800 for this, customized to what you need. It's gonna run great. It's gonna last a long time. I think it's gonna work great for him. So that's what we came up with for Kurt. I'll go ahead and shut this bad boy down because we do have a post. Sorry, Scotty. I know you were sitting there holding your breath the whole time. But we do have a post, so it's telling me that the new CPU is installed. You can probably even see it on the glass, maybe. There's the, kind of see the BIOS there, or the post screen. But anyway, F1, in the BIOS. Just want to make sure it's there, and then I'll shut it down. Oops. Shutting her down. Move on to the next build. Kurt will be doing the software stuff. Should have it ready within the next couple days. It's Windows, drivers, all that stuff. The easy part's done. All right, on to the grand finale. The moment you've been waiting for, Noob Sauce. Sorry, we're starting it so late. One's a little bit of a beefier build. Definitely got a lot of storage. One thing that Noob Sauce wanted in this build, it's storage. So we did end up going with a, for awareness, a Zotac RTX 4070 Ti. Graphics card. I was trying to target an Asus. They were either not in stock or just way overpriced. Hey, what's up, Egg World? How's it going, man? Hey, Adam, over on Facebook, thanks for that like. Might be 18 minutes late. Sorry about that. I'm always late on my noties. Oh wait, but there's more. So we really can't see everything and fit everything on the screen here. But today we're going to be building with a Ryzen 9 7900X. Beautiful processor. Got the 8 cores. I believe we're 24 or 12 core, sorry. Keep forgetting it jumped. 12 core, 24 thread, 5.6 gigahertz max boost for this bad boy. ROG Strix B560. Sorry. With all these damn numbers I have to remember, and the older I get, the harder it gets. ROG Strix B650 EF gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. These manufacturers also love watching us try to keep up with it, you know, name all this stuff out, because you're never going to get it right the first time. So it's a beautiful motherboard, gaming motherboard. You've got all your all the features that you're ever going to need on this board. It's got Wi-Fi, it's got Bluetooth built in, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.2, supports DDR5, which is what we're building with today, which is what reminds me, 32 gigabytes of DDR5. This is the Flare X by G-Skill. It's 6,000 megahertz. So that build that we just did was 3200 megahertz. This is 6000 megahertz, so it's double the RAM speed pretty much. Storage, we're going to go with a 2 terabyte M.2. This is a Gen 4 for our primary storage. Originally we were going with, I think, a Western Digital or something, but those ran out of stock right when I was ordering, so ended up with a silicone power. Same performance as the other. And the two crucial drives here are also Gen 4s, 4 terabytes. Or did we go with Gen 3 here? No, these are 3s. Are those supposed to be Gen 4s? No, they're Gen 3s. That's right. I know we went back and forth on a bunch of different storage types, sorry. So, Gen 3, 4 terabytes. Crucial P3s. So, it's got, what is that, 10 gigabytes or, yeah, 10 gigabytes of storage in the system. I don't know what you're doing with all this storage, but okay. I'm just kidding, I know. Then we've got a Zotac Gaming Trinity OC GeForce RTX 4070 Ti by NVIDIA. So this is a great graphics card. It's got 3 fans on it. It's going to keep it really nice and cool. This is also the OC edition. They come in both the normal, and then you get a factory OC edition, which has a little bit extra on the boost clocks. So you boost a little further up. Then the CPU, we're going to cool it with this bad boy, which is the LS720, 360mm AIO, 3 120mm fans, which are the FC120s by Deepcool. And this cooler does a great job keeping these beefier CPUs cool. It's going to be, all this is going in the Eclipse G500A by Fantex. One of my probably favorite cases right now to build in. It's super smooth to build in. An ATX mid tower, supports 360mm AIOs on the top of the case and in the front of the case. We're going to be putting ours in the top because we want that heat from the CPU just expelled right out of the case. We don't want it circulating in the case at all. And then it's got some addressable RGB lighting on the front, as well as the side down the bottom of the glass side panel, which kind of gives it a nice, elegant, cool accent to it. So it's actually really cool looking. The front is a mesh. And it also has 3 140mm fans on the front, already pre-installed. We also grabbed this Cooler Master fan specifically, the Halo MF140s. Have this ring around the back, or ring around the RGB fan, which blends well with this case. And this is going to go on the back. And this case also supports 140mm on the back, which is cool. So, anyway, that is the build we're doing. We also have some cables. Extension cables, and I have a PCIe 5.0 cable for the graphics card, which splits out to 4 PCIe connections. Power supply is a 1000 watt EVGA Supernova Gold. It's the G5. It's fully modular and has your ×4 PCIe connections you need for your graphics cards. So this will support all the way up to a 4090 if you wanted to upgrade to a 4090. So it's a great power supply, especially to start out with. It allows future upgrades for bigger and beefier graphics cards if you wanted it. And this PCIe 5.0 cable is by EFAB, or I can't remember the exact name of the company. But they're really cool because these cables that I've used I've really liked compared to the stock cables. These ones are made well. There's also other options out there like Cable Mod and other companies that make them as well, but I mean these are 20 bucks and they are so much better than the stock card or stock cable that comes with the card. Those are pieces of shit. Don't use those. And if you are going to use it and you have to use it, just make sure you don't bend it. That is like the #1 thing. Don't bend it, and don't make sure it's plugged in all the way. That's like the biggest problem with them. I'm going to move some of this out of the way and we'll go ahead and get started with the build. We're going to get started with our 3 M.2s, our CPU, and a RAM. I don't think I've put this much storage in a PC before, or at least in a long time. But M.2s anyway. I've never filled out a board. I'm also really hoping I was right on how many slots this board had. All right. Destiny, yes, sir. Gaming, lots and lots of gaming. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. That's what the storage is for, yeah? I play lots of Destiny. If you want, I'll send you my ID. Yeah, go for it. I personally don't play, but if somebody else would love to join you, well, I've already filled up one 4 terabyte drive on my current PC. Jeez, but we have more than enough slots here. So I didn't do my math wrong this time. What are you guys stuck on something? You guys stuck on something? It's AMD, so you don't have to take any of those brackets off. In fact, the plastic brackets stay on that motherboard. Yep. Yep. It is different, yeah. It's different than the other one. Alright. We're teaching how to build right now as well. Gonna have a sweatshop here, I guess. So 1M.2. M.2. There's your 4 terabyte. Number 1. And just a quick question, Noob Sauce. Did you want me to put the 4 terabytes into a RAID? Like a RAID 1? That way it's all one drive, basically. It'll be an 8 terabyte single drive compared to 2 4 terabyte drives, or did you want to keep it separate? The downside to doing that is if you ever have to recover from it, if one SSD drives, all the data in the entire 8 terabyte drive is gone. Not recoverable. Most of the time. It's not recoverable. It's a pain in the butt. So just expect it, set the expectation that it's gone. If one of them die. Did you want to do something like that? Where we make these 2 drives all one drive using the RAID controller? Those are the 2 4 terabytes. Come on. Trying to peel this bad boy off. More convenient, but at a higher risk. That is correct. I mean, if you're just putting games on here, that's all stuff you can reinstall. That's why I suggested it. The only reason why I suggested it, if you're putting like sensitive information that you want to keep, I mean, you should be backing that up anyway, but probably not a good idea to do that. It would be better to actually do like a RAID 5, which is copying to each drive, and it stays 4 terabyte between the 2. But I mean, you want the storage. God. Like, what am I doing? I mean, that's just always an option, that's all. I don't need an answer on it right away either. Think about it. First, we got to get it built and fired up. Each one of these drives have their very own heatsink, heat spreader. How about that? You can always make a backup for sensitive stuff. Yeah, for sure. We're not doing any type of bracket for this one, the contact bracket. I think I mentioned before already, but you didn't catch that stream when I talked about it. You really don't need it for these AMD CPUs because they're small enough where it's not a problem for contact. These LGA brackets for AMD work pretty well. Now, if you're working with a Threadripper, Threadripper is actually the correct term, sorry. Then you would want to probably, in fact, I think they have brackets for them. But the Intel 12th gen and 13th gen are so long and wide that the brackets actually don't push the CPU down at an evenly. So then the contact from the cooler isn't exactly 100% even. That's why we use those on Intel versus AMD. Though there are contact plates for AMD out there, they're just not necessary. Alright, our 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM running 6,000 megahertz. There you go. There's your motherboard, CPU, and RAM with all your SSDs. Peel that off before I forget. All right, on to the case. Shall we? Again, this is the Fantex G500A ATX, believe it or not, mid-tower. Although I think it's big enough to be a full tower. A little bigger than the last one. The door side panel, just for awareness, it has magnetic on the end, so when it touches here, it's magnetic and it closes that way, or holds it shut that way. We got our accessories kit with all our cords that we need in there. The back panel is also a door. I guess the only problem I've ever had with this is sometimes when your cables are too thick, it doesn't like to stay closed all the time. Go back in and redo some of your cable management. But super clean on the back side. You got these 2 panels which are removable as well. These 2 door panels, which then you have access to all your cables. So super fancy. And voila, there's all our cables. All right, so we got all our studs actually in here. So it's like it was meant to be. Get our accessories kit out. All our screws and hardware for the case. Got a nice little box with all the cables already organized. Super fancy. All right, let's just throw this in here. Not literally. And we got 9 screws to do. See you, chat? Oh, Scotty. Heading to bed? All right, man. Thanks for hanging out for the time that you did, man. Appreciate you. Have a good night, man. Yeah, you'll risk it. I can always make a backup for sensitive stuff. Nice. That is fancy. Yes, sir, it is. This case is very fancy. I'm planning to do a probably top 10 or top 20 case recommendation YouTube video here very soon. Kind of planned out. And this one is definitely in my top 5. Hard to decide what my favorite case is, but this one is definitely up there. The way I'm going to do it is probably by like price bracket, so cases within this price range, etc. ROG Strix for those who dare. Alright. Guess we could start doing the cooler. So let's get some of these cables plugged in, I guess. First. And we'll move on to the cooler. The audio. PWM fan. My fans. That is my fans. And one. And RGB is all under. And USB 3, USB-C, all up here. Alright, and then we just need our power switch. Front panel headers all on one block, so it's one connection. This is one of the things that I talk about on some of the other cases that we were just working on where they don't have that. This one has it. Modern. Beautiful. What we want to see. Alright, then our USB 3.0 and USB-C here at the top. This is for front panel USB-C, front panel USB 3.0. I always try to put the USB-C on backwards. Am I just that crazy or what? I am. Okay. We got all those connections plugged in. Let's move on to the cooler. Put this aside. This bad boy open and start getting this cooler done. What's going on? Oh, the tape. Alright, so it's going to be mounted in the case like so, this being the front of the PC here. At the top, we want our cables facing me. These are daisy chained, which are super awesome. So they just plug into each other. The FC120 case cooler fans. They're also case fans. You can actually buy these fans separately. But they're probably some of my favorite fans to use. I just wish they would come in 140mm sizes, because they don't currently. Wish they did. But they just daisy chain off each other, and then they have a single connection that goes to the motherboard for PWM and addressable RGB. They split into those two different types of connections. Did I win? Hey, Adam. This is not the $1 PC giveaway. Good try. Good try. So, we haven't drawn anything yet. So nobody won anything. This is Noob Sauce's build. That we finally got around to doing. I'm just kidding, we were waiting on some parts. We'll need these and these. Retro gamer time, though. This song's dedicated to all you retro gamers out there. We know you're still out there. It's a little bit of a cheaper brand. I actually wanted to build in that case. I built it at once and I wanted to build it in again to see if I had the same experience. So I grabbed it. Because it's not a well-known brand. I mean, it's a decent known brand. It's a dark rock case that I'm talking about. Retro games make me sad now. Oh, I know they do for me too. Especially when I play something like Pac-Man or Nintendo's GoldenEye. A lot of good memories. A lot of good memories playing those nostalgic games now. Alright, so there we go. We got our 360mm AIO ready to go. We're gonna wipe this stuff off once we get it mounted here on the ceiling, because there's gold on the ceiling. Whoops! Yeah, that pops off. Don't worry. Totally meant to do that. All right. That. And one thing I am going to do before I actually do this is loosen this guy up. Cable. It actually has to plug into one of the fans here. This is your RGB for your pump, but it's part of the RGB loop. But actually has to be plugged into the last fan here in order to get it to RGB. There we go. Send this up through. And we'll center this up where I want it. Is there anything else I want to do before I do this? No, we're good. This one isn't as tight as that other Fantex case. Alright. Alright. This sucks. Almost need another set of hands. Said you're getting tired? Well, you could stop. You could go. Like, I mean, you gotta get up early, right? I know, but you don't have to kill yourself. Four o'clock's early tomorrow. But 4:30's early tomorrow. Is that what time you're still getting up? Oh yeah, then you have that too. It's technically, what, 10:30? Yeah, I know, but I mean, your body feels like it's 10:30. right? 8:30. Oh yeah, that's right. We went ahead. Sorry. That's actually for you. Your body feels like it's 8:30. We're talking about the good old. Daylight savings time has been great today. Last time I played it, retro games make me sad. Last time I played one, it was one I grew up playing, and I played it in the museum. Oh, jeez. Well, sorry. Got nothing to say there, other than I'm sorry. We actually, my brothers and I, my brother Josh and I, we actually play, and my daughter, and my wife, we all play Total Annihilation every now and then. I actually used to play a lot of that back then. Haven't played much of it recently, but that was one nostalgic game that we loved. Age of Empires 2. Also a good one. Played a lot of. Made you feel super old after that. Yeah, I hear you. Alright, so there, we got our cooler mounted. Next, we got to wipe this thermal paste, put our brackets on there. Then we can mount this bad boy. You remember Age of Empires? It was a great game. Probably the top, one of the top 10, top 5 for sure. Trebuchet. Alright. Then it just pops off like peace. Alright, so we got a couple of brackets to add here, and we're golden. Got our thermal grizzly we're going to throw on there. Take a Coke sip break. Let's mount this cooler. Oh, she didn't put all the studs in? You have to have all the studs in. Yep, just gotta have all the studs. Don't worry, it's a training build. All right. There you go. Cooler's installed. Go ahead and throw these RGB and PWM fan connection in there. Well. I'm gonna throw a zip tie on here real quick. One more. What's another zip tie? Makes it nice and clean. Sucks when you have to pull something apart sometimes. Right. That's good. I guess let's get this rear fan. For that, let's do these cables up here, the EPS cables for the CPU. Nice and pretty, right? Pretty cables. All right, moving on to the rear case fan. 140 millimeter Cooler Master. This is the I always love these abbreviations on these fans too. The MF 140. Use your imagination there. Fit my fingers in small places. There we go. Got our fan cables routed. Now we just need to get it mounted. I wonder if the abbreviations actually mean something, or if it just randomly picked, if they randomly picked letters and numbers that thought would look good. Well, it could be a marketing thing. I mean, when I look at it, I'm like, well, that mother must be a good fan. I think it has an abbreviation like Master Fan is the I think the abbreviation Master Fan, because it's by Cooler Master and it's a Master Fan and it's a Halo edition. It has a halo. I mean, that makes sense, but I like my imagination better. Personally, I think I'll stick with that. Alright, so we got that fan plugged in, or at least mounted, not plugged in. Where are we going to send this bad boy? Guess we're going to go to CPU opt. Our other fan header's here. Our next one's down here. I don't think our cable's going to reach that. Not without looking like a little doofus. We can run it on that header, it's fine. Ain't no difference. Which means you might have to use another zip tie. That's all. need some goop off the fan cable. From a sticker. They like to put stickers on cables and they're white and they stand out like a big sword. More, use some more imagination there. So I'd like to remove those and look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. That zip tie dyed. I'm into a few of them tonight. I'll bring you a pack of zip ties to make up for all the ones I'm using. No worries about it, man. Don't worry about that at all. Got probably 2,000, 3,000 zip ties here right now. No sweat. I'm just running into a lot of bad ones tonight. It's kind of weird. I can go like 2 weeks straight without running into a single bad zip tie, and then in one night I can have like 5. Fight one day, would you? All right, our 24 pin. Our 24 pin is in. Starting to look like a gaming PC, huh? All right, so last thing we got to do, the graphics card and a power supply. That's it. I guess I could do some cable management for you. I suppose. My favorite. Break the seal on this RTX 3070 Ti. Not vintage. Hey, love gaming. Power the wind. Message from Zotac for you. We've got a GPU bracket, which I will try to throw in there actually. Our stock cables that we're going to throw in the trash can. And then our actual graphics card. Yeah, no worries. Sorry about it. You taking out? Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming over. Open a little bit. Still playing Hell's Let Loose? Hi. No, it's alright. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I didn't buy any of the DLC. Hey, got swords? Welcome back. Just in time to watch a 4070 Ti be installed. Have a good night, Josh. We're all saying goodbye to Josh. He's done building for the night. He said, I'm done with this crap.
I just got it.
He said enough of it. He said something about he needs sleep. And I'm like, nah. I'm just kidding. He needs to get up early tomorrow, so. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for the help. Yeah, he's helping with some other builds. When I get overwhelmed, he's very happy to come over and help build. My brother, also known as the Wonder Ginger. The Wandering Ginger. Hey, Adrian. Noob Sauce says hello. Alright, man. Drive safe. We'll see you. Thanks for coming. It's always a weird emote when I see that. Like, ah, that's my face. Funny, that photo was actually captured during a funny moment. For those of you who don't know, I do play disc golf. Yeah, that was me laying down on my disc golf bag after like 8 hours of disc golf. Somebody said, let's do another round. Now it's like, no! Bumper cars. Do we still get to drive? No, there's no golf carts in disc golf. You're all on foot for the full 18, 24, or 36 holes, whatever course you're playing. It's exhausting. That's crap.
For so long.
Yeah, that's disc golf, man. I didn't think of this. Facts. You should play disc golf on golf carts, 2 birds, 1 stone, more shenanigans. Well, the problem is most of the parks don't allow motorized vehicles in the area on the course or anything like that. But what I would love to do is make a super fancy disc golf course one day and have golf carts. This would be probably one of the few, I guess, courses with golf carts. There we go. Power supply time, then cable management. Then we get to see if I built the PC good or not. If it actually posts, fires up. Oh. So this power supply sneaks in through the back door. Using this bracket here that you can't see right here. That's what she said. I have no idea what you're talking about, Scotty. I mean, you don't want to be sneaking in through any back doors. Lies. Alright. Alright, okay. Here is our EVGA Supernova 1000 watt power supply. Those are your specs if you want to read them. Not that my camera is good enough that you can read it. +80 gold. Really all that matters, and it's Supernova by EVGA. These things have, I believe, like a 10-year warranty, so should outlast the PC. Now, I am going to put on or attach most of your cables because I don't want cables to go missing if I don't attach them. I don't know if you're the type that's going to keep your cables laying around when you come to me and ask for upgrades or something. I get a lot of that. Where people are like, yeah, I just threw them all out. Why'd you do that? So I like to attach the cables to the power supply, all of them, even though it's a modular power supply. And we just bundle them up in the spacious basement of this PC case. Super easy to do. Take a break. Hey, if they don't have no trespassing tattooed, it's free game. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about like back door, like a house. Like house has a front door and a back door. Got it. What are you talking about? Totally just kidding. I'm sure you are. I don't know, the case was pretty spacious at first. Looks like all that stuff really filled it up. Oh yeah, the basement's got a lot of space out. There's a lot of square footage down here. We're gonna be able to pack this in nicely. Now you got a lot of storage down here. You also have in that accessories kit some more hard drive bays if you want to add more hard drives. That's where it's going to be, is in that accessories kit. You want to add those. But it's got 2.5 drive mounts on the case already. And I assume if you're going to add anything, it's going to be SSD at this point. Sure. Adrian wants to show you what she's painted for my desk. Probably going to hang it up over here on the stream. Put it right here. Some sort of inspiration there, I don't know. That's awesome. Thank you. Don't worry, it's dried. Not sitting on your case wet. There you go. Thank you.
Dry.
I'll put it back on my desk. Epic. I like your painting. Now I gotta sneak all these cables through the back door. Make them through nice and quietly. Slide the power supply in. Lock the door. My kids played with Play-Doh on my case. Oh, jeez. That's awesome. That's epic. Nice. Now it's a Play-Doh case. Yeah, we have a couple of those sitting around here. Where it's got some special touches, we'll say. Of our personal devices. Oh! She's getting a little heavy. Got some weight to her. What have you been feeding this thing? I seem to have lost my bag of zip ties. Found it. Oh, sorry. getting in pretty far. There we go. Looking a little cleaner up top. Like a nice, good shape, clean shave, you know. Oh boy, we got a Velcro fight going on here. All right. Looking clean. We're not quite there yet. A little premature. I said it's looking clean. Didn't mean to get you all excited. All right, 1 PCIe. Two PCIe. 3 and 4. The RTX 3070 Ti actually only needs 3 connections, but we have a cable here so you can go all the way up to a 4090. So it supports up to 600 watts split between 4 PCIe connections. Can't wait till PCIe 5.0 becomes more of a standard. There's more available in power supplies. It'll be a lot easier to deal with and a lot cleaner. It would be a single connection from the power supply to the graphics card. Instead, still cheaper, easier to get than buying a overly expensive power supply for a standard that's not a standard yet. These are our extra cables here. It fits in that basement pretty nicely. With extra space for another hard drive cage if you wanted to shove that in there. So, let's snip it all up. Flip it over, make sure our cables stayed in their places where we want them. Front side, which is where it matters. Button it up and fire it up. I have to zip tie that up. But for the most part, everything kind of stayed right where I want it. Cable needs a little bit of wiggle. What do you think? I'd almost be worried about... Got my hopes up then. I'd almost be worried to add anything more. I'd mess with that pretty work you just did. Oh, no worries. PC, it's meant to be messed with. Feel that final peel. Then let's put those back panels on. Fire it up. Actually, I did want to throw a zip tie on this. Didn't like how it was bleeding out, stuck out like a sore. Use your imagination. Want it to lean in this way. We can. Gives it a little character, but it's not quite the right character we're looking for. There we go. Now you can't even see any of it. Door close is nice and neat. All right. I think we're ready. I think it's ready. Not going to need any of these tools tonight. This is going to post and I'm not going to have a problem, right? Hey, she got heavy. Very heavy. Lots of USB 3.0s on the back of this board. Cool to see. All right, let's switch it up. Go to the side view. That's probably good. Post. You're about to see the big moment, Adam. Here we go. Post. Do we push it? Do we push that power button? Should I? Oh no. The storage of the stream's going down. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go. Here we go. You're gonna be getting a real nice RGB tan. It's also DDR5, so it's gonna take a second for the memory training to kick in, especially the first time posting. It always takes a couple minutes. So give it a minute. It's gotta breathe. He's like, holy crap, we're firing up. Oh my gosh, this is all new hardware. But actually, it already posted, so it's posted already. Telling me to go into the BIOS. Hey, new CPU installed. Your FTPM PSP may be corrupt. Would you like to reset? Yes. This is for all that BitLocker crap. Oh my god. Stunning. So, beautiful addressable RGB strip here at the bottom. The front of the case actually has an RGB strip here at the top. You can't see it here, but there is one kind of similar to this design here. And this halo fan on the back, let me kind of spin it a little bit so you can see it, has that ring around it. Specifically, fits very well with this case because of the RGB strips on the front and the side. So it's always a really good design. If we had more budget, I'd fill the whole case out with those MF fans. You never failed to impress me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It looks great. Thank you, sir. Hey, Noob Sauce. All 3 of your drives are checking in. That's a good sign. Aw, man. Why didn't you say anything? I did say something. No, I didn't say anything about the fans. No, you're right. If I had it my way, it would have been an extra like $300 in fans. And these fans work perfectly fine. They look good. There's nothing wrong with these fans. But if we were just no budget, totally would use them. They're like $30 a piece, those fans. They're not cheap. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 for sure. Those are 30 times 7. What would that be? I don't know, 100 and something. 200 ballpark for all the fans. We can always change them out. My time is coming, Ben. Can't wait to see my build. It is. It is coming. Help you beef it up. There's not much more we could do. I mean, we can always do like a glass etching. We could do a GPU backplate. You can always change out the fans if you want to, get these Halo fans, which are really cool in there. Or we could go with some Leon Lee fans, which are really cool. But I mean, these fans are pretty badass as it is. They're performance fans. They have the RGB. They're going to sync well. It looks well. There's not much more you could do. We could do a paint job. If you have like a special paint job you want in mind, that you have in mind. Maybe I'll work some overtime. Yep. What's the specs and budget on that PC? This one here, Adam? Looks super awesome. I'm really stoked. Yes. No, I know. I'm glad you're stoked, man. Just need a couple more days to finish up the software side of things, which is Windows, drivers, all the updates, the BIOS update, get some of the configuration done, and then we run what we call battle tested phase, which is a whole bunch of benchmarks on it to make sure she's running smooth and cool, performing where she should be. Custom water loop, not worth it. In my opinion, you can, unless you're doing some, like, unless you're trying to, like, beat benchmark, stats, the custom open loop just isn't worth it. I actually talk more people down from a custom open loop than probably anything that I do here. And there's work involved with it too. So if you're interested in just plugging it in and there's your PC and you don't want to have to do a bunch of work to it, then don't do a custom loop. If you're interested in a bunch of work, meaning maintenance every 6 months. I mean, you could bring it here and I could do the maintenance for you, but I mean, it's like every 6 months that you need to change that water out. So water loops terrify me. I watched a video of one springing a leak, ruined the whole PC. Yep, there's also that risk, is if it leaks. I mean, any of the loops that I do, they undergo a air pressure test before we put any fluid in there. And sometimes, just to find the leak, we actually have to put fluid in the loop if there is a leak off the bat, which is usually just a bad connection somewhere or a broken seal on one of the it's a manufacturer defect at that point, usually on the seals. This is your PC, Noob Sauce. Yeah, fire. It is fire. Badass. He's also got 10 terabytes of storage in this thing. I only laugh because my PC's got 2. What was your budget? This one was... Well, Noob Sauce, you can tell him if you want. It's up to you. The PC is actually our battle-tested battle cruiser on our website. So that's the core of the PC. But then he added 2 4-terabyte M.2 SSDs, which were like $250 each. So that added a little extra. So it's a $2,600 PC plus the extra $500 in storage, and then whatever it was after taxes and all that. I know, it's 10 terabytes of storage in here. So just for clarification, Noob Sauce, you do want me to put it in the RAID 1. So it's 1 drive for the 2 4 terabytes to have a single 8 terabyte drive, correct? Yeah, I don't usually use my PC for a lot of personal stuff. I think it'll be a lot easier for you, like, in the long run. Because it's just 1 drive instead of 2 drives. It's just, anytime you have to do any type of, like, oh, we don't want to enable that yet. Anytime it's just a pain when, like, if a drive fails or something, that's all. Because then you gotta reinstall everything on both drives. Damn, 3300, is it overkill? It's overkill because it's going to last a long time. Right? Yeah, exactly. You can re-download all that. It's on it's on the newest platform, Adam, which is what makes it so expensive. So you have your Ryzen 7000 series CPU on the newer 600 series chipset through AMD, which is also DDR5, which isn't the cheapest RAM right now. So it's and then it's also the newest and latest greatest RTX 4070 Ti. So it's the 4000 series that was just released. So all this is all brand new stuff, and the storage is super fast storage. So everything in here is just and then to power it, you also needed a pretty big power supply. And I went a little over the top on the power supply, so he has some wiggle room for upgrades in the future without having to upgrade his power supply. And then you got to cool it, so that means you need a decent case with a lot of good airflow in there, and a lot of cooling. So the coolers add some cost, and so does the case and the extra fan that we threw in here. So it all adds up. That's why it's so expensive. Is the latest and greatest tech. 10 terabytes is crazy for, well, you know, he has a lot of games. He's got a huge library, so we gotta make sure it fits his library and have some more room for newer games, which are only getting bigger. But, you know, to start out with, 1 terabyte's all you need to kind of start out with. Gets you enough room to install a few new games, and then you can always add more storage after that. I did a lot of gaming on my days off. You do a lot of gaming. I hear you. Well, you could definitely enjoy it even more on your days off. Me too, lol. I think we all do. I don't really get very many days off right now, though. But that's on me, and I'm not complaining about it. Enjoy your PC, Noob Sauce. This is also my first PC. I've worked up to it. Okay, yep. This is also not my first PC, sorry. I've worked up to it. Yeah. Yeah, my first PC, like I was saying way back in the day, was nothing special. So, kind of like our cars. We start out with a cheaper car. We drive around a, used car usually for first couple of years, and then we work our way up to a newer car, or upgrade that one, or update it, fix it up. Same idea with the computers. All right, Adam. Have a good night, man. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. Well, all right, guys. I've already got Windows installing for you, Noob Sauce. So we just got to get through the rest of it and set it all up, test it, and be on the lookout in the next day or two here to for the ready for pickup. Or are we shipping this one? I can't remember what I'm talking about anymore. Nope, pick up. Or pick it up. So just be on the lookout for the notification for the pickup. And yeah, good night, Scotty. Thanks for hanging out again. Appreciate it, man. And thank you, Noob Sauce, for choosing us to build it. I hope you enjoyed the experience. And I will see you in a little bit, in a couple days. Have a good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of the night. Have a good night, Noob Sauce. Take care.